Hey guys, welcome to Master and Learn It. In this video, we're going to be learning about addition and subtraction of fractions. So we should know that we only add fractions with the same denominators. So we should also make sure that the denominators are the same. Suppose you have, let's say 1 over 3 plus 1 over 3. Then since the denominators are the same, we can add the numerators, which becomes 1 plus 1, that's 2 over 3. That's our final answer. Suppose we are given 9 over 10 minus 8 over 10. Since the denominators are the same, we can subtract the numerators right away, which is 9 minus 8, we get 1 over the same denominator, 10. But in most cases, we may not be given the denominators that are the same. We have to work them out. For example, we are given 1 over 2 minus 1 over 4. So I'm going to use the first method, which basically if you're in primary, this is the best method to use. So what do we do in this simple method? What we do is multiply your first fraction by the denominator of the second fraction. So the second fraction's denominator is 4. So I multiply times 4 times 4. Then I multiply the second fraction by the denominator of the first fraction, which is the denominator right here is 2. So that's times 2 times 2. 1 times 4 we get 4 over 2 times 4 we get 8 minus 1 times 2 is 2 over 4 times 2 is 8. Now that our denominators are the same, we can subtract the numerators, which is 4 minus 2, we get 2 all over 8. You can further simplify this fraction further, but for now I'm not going to simplify it in its lowest terms. The idea, we just want to know how to add fraction. But if you want to know how to simplify a fraction, watch one of my videos on how to simplify fractions. We have another fraction here that says 1 over 5 plus 2 over 3. Here the denominators are not the same. So what do? We multiply the first fraction by the denominator of the second fraction, isn't it? And we multiply our second fraction by the denominator of the first fraction, which is 5. 1 times 3 we get 3 over 5 times 3 we get 15 plus 2 times 5 we get 10 over 3 times 5 we get 15. Now the denominators are the same, we add the numerators, which is 3 plus 10 is 13 over 15. Then you have simplified your fraction. Let's move on to the next one that says 4 minus 2 over 3. How do we simplify such a fraction like this? We should always know that if you have an integer or a whole number, there is always a denominator of 1. So that makes everything simple, isn't it? So this can be written as 4 over 1 minus 2 over 3. So we said we multiply the first fraction by the denominator of the second fraction. And here we multiply the second fraction by the denominator of the first, which is 1. 4 times 3, that's 12, over 1 times 3, that's 3, minus 2 times 1, that's 2, over 3 times 1, that's 3. 12 minus 2, we get 10 over 3. Oops, we get a bigger number being carried by a smaller number, isn't it? We call it an improper fraction. So if you want to know how to simplify improper fractions, watch one of my videos on simplification of improper fractions. So this one is our last answer in this case. Let's move on to, suppose we have a situation like 1 and 1 over 5 plus 2 and 1 over 3. We cannot just add these ones right away. So the best method is to convert these to an improper fraction because they are called mixed fractions. So how do we do that? It's pretty simple. You just multiply and add. And you just multiply and add. So we multiply the denominator times the whole number. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 1. We get 5 we get 6 rather. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 1 is 6 over our denominator. 5 plus 3 times 2 we get 6. 6 plus 1 we get 7 over our denominator 3. And as we know, we said we multiply the first fraction by the denominator of the second, which is times 3 times 3, and we also multiply the second fraction by the denominator of the first, which is 5 times 5. 6 times 3, that's 18, over 5 times 3, that's 15, minus 7 times 5, which is 35. So which is 35 over 3 times 5, which is 15. Then now the denominators are the same, we add the numerators, isn't it? So 35 plus 18, what do we get? So we get 53. So we now have 53 all over our denominator 15. So now we need to convert this improper fraction to a mixed fraction, because a bigger number is being carried by a smaller number. So you watch one of the videos on how to simplify this further. So if you think method 1 was pretty difficult, or you think like you want something of a higher level, we have another method in store for you. So we have 1 over 2 minus 1 over 4. I normally call it the triple D's. What do I mean? What do we do when you have a situation like 1 over 2 minus 1 over 4? First thing, you multiply. So we're going to be multiplying. So we multiply diagonally this way. So you're going to multiply this way. Then you're going to multiply diagonally also. Then you multiply these denominators. So that's diagonal, diagonal, denominator. So I call it the triple D's. So I'm going to multiply diagonally. 4 times 1, that's 4. There is a minus there. Another diagonal, 2 times 1, that's 2. All over, we multiply the denominators, which is 2 times 4, that's 8. Now we simplify. 4 minus 2, we get 2 all over 8, which you can further simplify in its simplest form. Let us have another example. Suppose we have 1 over 5 plus 2 over 3. Using our butterfly method or the triple D's, we multiply diagonally there. 3 times 1, we get 3, plus 5 times 2, we get 10. All over, we multiply the denominators. 5 times 3, that's 15. Then we add the numerators. 3 plus 10, we get 13 over 15, which is our final answer. This looks to be the quickest, but it's kind of a high standard, I guess. So we have another example here that says 4 minus 2 over 3. Pretty using our same method, we know that every integer or whole number is like all over 1. So we multiply diagonally. 3 times 4, we get 12. There is a minus there. We multiply diagonally. 1 times 2, we get 2 all over. We multiply the denominators. 1 times 3, we get 3. Then we can subtract. 12 minus 2, that's 10 all over 3. Then there we go. But this one, if you want to know how to simplify improper fractions to mixed fraction, you watch one of the videos. So this is how we multiply, how we add or subtract fractions using the butterfly or the triple D method. We have the last example, that's 1 and 1 over 5 plus 2 and 1 over 3. So first thing, like we did previously, we need to convert this mixed fraction to a improper fraction. So you still remember that what do? We multiply, then we add, we multiply, then we add. So 5 times 1 is 5 plus 1, we get 6 all over our denominator 5, plus 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7 all over 3. Then using our triple D's or the butterfly method, we multiply diagonally this way. 6 times 3, we get 18, plus diagonally there 5 plus 5 times 7 is 35. All over, we multiply the denominators, which is 5 times 3, we get 15. Then we add 18 plus 35. So we get 53 all over 15. Then that's our final answer. And if you want to know how to simplify further, go and check one of my videos on how to convert mixed fractions to improper fractions. Thank you.